Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is April 6th. It's Masters Week, and this is the Barstool Baltimore podcast. We have a very special guest here. We've got Big Daddy Trent here to talk a little Augusta. How you doing, Trent?
I'm really good. I'm happy to be here. Baltimore podcast. I'm happy. Hopefully, we get some wire talk in, but obviously, I want to talk about the Masters.
You had to jump right to the Master or the wire talk. Like you couldn't even finish a sentence without going to the wire.
I'm not saying
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That's right. We don't have to talk about that first. We can talk about that later. We can talk about the Masters. I don't get to talk about the wire other than, I live in the Midwest. I live in Iowa. You guys live in a place where people are like, oh, we should probably watch that because it's like where we're from, but nobody around here watches it unless I specifically tell them to watch it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think we'll get into that towards the end.
For sure.
But yeah, it's April. It's the best week of the year for golf fans. I personally have been not exactly a serious golf fan for my whole life, but in the past couple of years, I've really gone head first in. So, I feel like I'm pretty caught up on the storylines and have a good idea what's going on. But it'd be good to get some insight from our number one golf guy.
You know, the same thing kind of happened to me. I've always been a golf fan. I grew up, my dad watches golf, my mom watches golf, the whole family golfs, but the whole Twitter and I guess having a job where I can watch golf, that's really when my fandom started. I really like the being able to talk about it on Twitter. When I first got to Barstool, I wasn't even tweeting about golf, and then all of a sudden I thought, well, maybe this would be a good idea, and it worked.
Good niche.
Yeah, and it worked, luckily. So now here we are. It's Masters Week, and it's like the best week of the year. I don't even know how to describe it. I just put up a preview. Even you like golf or you don't like golf, everybody is in on the Masters. It's Jim Nance, it's the pageantry, it's azaleas. But the good thing about this Masters is it's good and bad. There's no Tiger, which I'm really, really sad about. That was. Are you a Tiger guy, Banks?
I am a Tiger guy. I'm not I don't like bow at his feet, but I love what he did for the game. I'm just like you actually, where probably the last couple of years with Twitter, with having a desk job, with I think the advent of some of these guys and what I guess you would call the post-Tiger era, I've just gone all in. I mean, I've been playing golf. I played golf in high school actually.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really follow the tour that much. My dad played in college, so I'm kind of like in a golf family, but I didn't follow it all that seriously. It was on a Sunday, and there was a close race and some decent names were in it. I would watch, but I wouldn't track it like I do now. I bought that PGA Tour live, and I'm, it's I got my work in front of me, and I've got the browser with the video going the whole time in the background. And that's great coverage that they really started up this year. You're watching Spieth or Rory or any one of those guys every single Thursday or Friday morning. So.
And you make a good point about the post-Tiger era, because I don't think, the Barstool audience, I don't think would be that interested in it or as interested as they are if there wasn't a Spieth, Rory, or Rookie. Stuff like guys actually coming up. Otherwise, golf team is a lot of old guys playing. Nobody really cares. But with guys especially Ricky Fowler, I think, you got guys, a little bit of flash. They know how to use social media. It gets out there. So I think golf's in a really good spot. But the thing about this, oh, go ahead.
Well, I think the PGA Tour is kind of flipped on its head. Tiger was going out there as a young gun and beating 35-year-olds, like you were kind of alluding to, and now it seems like all the older guys are trying to catch up with this pack of young guys that are just blasting the ball 325 yards off the tee consistently, and it's really been catered towards the younger fan now.
Right, and you can tell how spoiled we are, especially these guys are young and they're good, because you got a guy like Ricky Fowler who last season finished the top 5, a couple of second-place finishes in every major, and everybody is like, when is he going to win one? When is he going to win one? He's 27 years old. Spieth is 22, he's won 2. Rory's 26, he's won 4. It's just we're so spoiled that we think Ricky Fowler is late to win one when he's not even sniffing 30. It's unbelievable how good of a spot golf is in.
What year was it that Mickelson won that first green jacket? Because he's the poster boy of guy who hasn't won a major yet, and then he finally got his, and the floodgates opened.
Wasn't that 04? That was a while ago.
It was 04. He's 45 now, so that would have been age 34 he got it.
Well,
I
he
can't
always had
remember.
that. He had that choker mentality, kind of, right?
Yeah, he had winged foot and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, it was, and it was. It was like he can't win one, and then, like you said, the floodgates opened up. So, I mean, then you got a guy like Sergio who still can't win one.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know how that happened now.
Mickelson won 04, 06, and then 2010.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, Ricky's 27. DJ is one of those other guys. He's 31, and the fact that those guys, they're still relatively young relative to guys like Phil winning at 34. And
I worry about DJ sometimes. I think he's a guy, and this Masters we'll see. Like he's the kind of guy, if he ever figures out how to use his short game and putt well, he could win like 60% of the tournaments he's in.
exactly, he's the one guy I think that could drop a 59 on any given day. His ceiling is higher than anybody on tour, I would say.
Totally. Yeah.
which tournament was it last year that he didn't he choke it away on the 18th? I think.
The U.S. Open.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just remember, like I said, I'm not as big as golf fan as you guys are, but I remember people saying, if this guy could get his short game and putting together, he would be arguably the number one golfer in the world.
Yeah, he was out ahead at St. Andrews last year too, on Friday and a little bit of Saturday, and then it just fell apart.
I get those last year at St. Andrews, I get those rounds confused because the weather was so fucked up.
Yeah,
but like,
me too.
what was I gonna say? But then DJ, he's like, whenever I talk about him, he's like smart. Oh, he's not that smart, but that's a good thing. Like he seems like the kind of guy who
He's
can
Joe
forget
Flacco. He's just like he doesn't have any reaction to anything. He's just lukewarm.
Like anybody else has that choke at Chambers Bay where he pretty much
I think we lost him.
Did we lose him? Did we got you?
That froze real hard.
Yeah. Hold on, let me.
I can still see you guys.
Oh,
you
he's
can hear
back.
us?
He's back. That froze real hard.
Yeah, sorry. All right, keep going.
What was I saying?
You were talking about he missed the putt at
Chambers
Bay, and you
Oh yeah, DJ made that putt at Chambers Bay, and anybody else, I feel like that ruins their career. Like they can never come back from it. And he still hasn't won a major, but DJ seems to have the kind of brain, whether he's not smart or doesn't care all that much, he can forget about that and he's going to move on. I think he'll be fine if he can figure out his short game. Then he'll be unstoppable.
You could say that. I could see where he can forget about it for as long as he can, and then once he gets right back into that exact moment, you just kind of panic because you just build up that kind of ignorance to. I mean, it hasn't just been Chambers. It was, I think, PGA at.
There was the one when he grounded his club.
Yeah, I think that was Sheboygan. What course is that?
They got all the fucked up bunkers on the sides.
Yeah. He's done it a bunch of times, so you got to think that it builds and builds at a certain point. And I feel like a couple of years ago that he would have a much better opportunity, and now Day and Spieth are just so dominant right now that you can't really imagine anybody outside of that picture like winning consistently. Like there's only those guys are going to win their majors, and there's only a couple in the next few years that are just going to be up for grabs for somebody other than those guys to grab.
Right. So now more specifically to the Masters, like to me, there's like 6 guys that I think can win it. It's a field of 89 or whatever, but I think there's only like 6 guys that can win it, and they're pretty obvious: Spieth, Rory, Day, Fowler, Bubba.
Give me Adam Scott.
Adam Scott is the one I would say is next out of the.
Yeah, Adam Scott is the last one. He's on a roll.
I picked him in my my Masters pool today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because Day ended up going first.
So you didn't go Spieth.
No, I went Scott.
That's terrible.
I went Scott. Spieth ended up going like 5th. So
See, Scott's not a bad pick. Like you'd be happy with any of those 6 guys, but
he was 12-1. I got him. I got the guy who they didn't know if he was going to play in the Masters because his wife just gave birth. What's his name? Shoot.
I don't know.
She gave birth like last week.
What are you talking about?
Oh fuck. All right. Keep going. I'll figure out his name.
But I guess probably the favorite out of those would be Day because he's coming off a couple of wins. And
A couple is like an understatement, to be honest.
I guess, yeah, I was thinking recently he's won like the last 2 and then 6 out of 10 in the last like 14 months or something like
Yeah.
that.
So I have kind of a point that maybe I should let you finish your thought, but I want to come back to.
No, you go ahead.
All right, so you've got since Roy's last win, I think it was at the Wells Fargo last year. Spieth has 4 wins. Day has 6. I also looked at since Spieth got his tour card, and I think Spieth and Day both have more wins than McIlroy on tour as well.
Mm.
Is it actually Rory's world, and we're just living in it?
It hasn't been recently, and last year. So we're coming off 2014. He wins the last 2 majors, and we're definitely in Rory's world. Like it's
he's winning them by 8 strokes.
Right, but then we get to 2015, and Spieth kind of comes on the scene, and Rory has that he gets that ankle injury playing soccer with his buddies. I honestly, so after those 2 major wins, I worry, and I've worried about this with Rory for a long time, and I've talked to people about it. Sometimes I think he gets bored and complacent when he's just doing too well. And that sounds weird, but I think we're now in a spot where Spieth had the best 2015, one of the best years he'll ever have. And Day had a great year too. So I think those types of things motivate Rory. That's my thought, and I'm a huge Rory fan. I think that he needs that type of fire where there's people nipping on his heels, or maybe he's even chasing people down to get that spot back. I do think there's a part of him that gets lazy and complacent with being the only guy on top.
I think he kind of exudes that attitude. The thing that I would see, I've had that thought too, but I thought that I would have seen that a little more in the tournaments leading up to the Masters. Now this is where the proof is in the pudding, but
I mean, he looked pretty good at the WGC, the Dell match play.
He did.
He also said one time, coming back after that ankle injury, somebody asked him at the next tournament, how good does it feel to be back, and how much did you miss golf? And his answer was, I didn't miss it as much as I thought I was going to.
Yeah, that's not an answer you want to hear.
which it's not an answer you want to hear, but I'm glad he's honest about it, because that's the one thing about Rory. He gives great interviews. He's very candid. He'll tell you exactly, like most people there, it's, oh man, I miss the game so much, I can't live without it, blah, 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 even if they don't mean it.
Now, do you think that that's a residual of like Tiger's obsession and this image that he built up, that he was so obsessed with golf that a lot of people think that led to his downfall? Do you think Rory has some sort of thing in the back of his head where he just doesn't want to be that guy who's so obsessed with it that he just kind of spirals out of control? And
I don't think it's a Tiger effect. I just think it's the way that Rory is. Like, it's the way you're wired.
Sure.
Tiger, obviously a psycho. Spieth, I think Spieth is a psycho too. He's the kind of, he's wired more like Tiger than Rory is, for sure.
Yeah.
So Rory's, I'm picking Rory to win the Masters. I think he's going to complete the Grand Slam. That's the thing. So this Masters is great. Like I said, there's no Tiger driving the storyline. So now we've got all these other storylines that I think are going to make it. Like we said, DJ, if he can get his first one. Ricky trying to get his first one. Day trying to go back-to-back majors after last season. Spieth trying to defend his title. Rory trying to go career Grand Slam. So that's what I'm excited about. Despite wanting Tiger in it, I like that there's a lot of things happening. And Phil, I think you're really going to see if Phil is even sort of in.
He just froze hard again.
Damn.
Shit.
Phil's going to what?
We're back.
If you see Phil even close to contention Saturday or Sunday, people are going to start pulling for him, and that'll be the main storyline. Like if the 45-year-old guy can.
He's been playing well so far. But he hasn't been dominant. He hasn't won. But he's been quietly hanging around top tens in each of the tournaments so far.
Does he seem old to you? He doesn't seem old to me.
He seems like he's been 37 for a decade now.
Like we just had Phil Mickelson.
Phil, yeah, I feel like Phil should be like 50 by now.
Like we just had that. They ran the Jack Nicklaus '86 when he won his last Masters, and he was 46 at that time. And so you think like that's the whole thing around that is Jack Nicklaus is done. He's done now. He won that. Mickelson's 45. I feel like he could play for another 5 to 7 years.
Sure. He doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. He's gripping and ripping more than he ever has before. And his game, with the flop shots and all that stuff that he has, that translates long term. Like that plays well into his 40s and 50s.
Yeah, he's always been super creative, and like long drives go away, the power goes away, but like you said, the short game that's longevity. Have you been paying attention to this Bryson DeChambeau character at all?
Here and there, I saw the snippet about him naming his clubs, which I thought was actually pretty hilarious. But I saw your tweet about you just not being able to get a read on him. I don't have enough to get a read on him either, and that's more out of ignorance versus being all over the map. But I guess share your thoughts on him and what you've seen.
He's oddly the most talked about golfer coming into this week, despite being in a packed field. It's so weird. He's the U.S. Amateur 2015 champion. He goes to SMU. He's a super genius. His major is physics. And he's got all these things where he studies the game in a different way. His club lengths are all weird. And I'm really curious to see how he does in the Masters, because it's worked up to this point. You win the U.S. Amateur. Everybody's on your nuts. Everything's going great. The Masters will be if we find out if he is like a know-it-all who doesn't actually have a golf game, or if this sort of boy genius, mad scientist stuff can work. So that'll be a storyline under all the storylines with the heavy hitters, which if you watch interviews with Bryson DeChambeau, you'll either love him or think he's the biggest asshole on the planet.
I'll probably have to catch one of those before tomorrow morning.
He's just
Now, I hadn't heard of him, but then he went pretty high in our Masters pool today, so I meant to look him up. So no, I'm glad I have this background that he's maybe a weirdo.
He's a super big weirdo, and like he's an amateur, so if he does well, that's a huge deal. But there's a chance it just falls off a cliff. He shoots like 85, 85, and then goes home.
Just shits the bed, yeah.
Which I can't, like that tweet, I can't decide which one I'm rooting for.
Well, I think we're going to find out pretty soon.
So who are you picking for the Masters? Thanks.
I have a hard time picking anybody but Jason Day right now, just the way he's killing it, and he's the favorite, and rightfully so. He's just been dominating on tour for the better part of 6 months, and it's not even like he was, struggling and found his groove. Like, he was playing great golf all of 2015. He just, Spieth was just better in the bigger moments. So he's had historically some good performances at Augusta too. So I would go with Jason Day. It's hard also not to throw Spieth in the mix, given a second place finish and a first place finish and tying the course record.
He probably should have won that one in 2014 when he was going up against Bubba
he
too.
Probably should have. And that's what's unfortunate, because I could easily see Bubba winning it too. And these, like we've already said, that these are the 6 guys, and I feel like I'm just going through them in order. But
if Bubba wins, I might kill myself.
See, I have this mentality that there are Augusta National guys, and then there are not Augusta guys, and
Bubba's a national.
Bubba's an Augusta guy, and I'd in addition to hating him as much as I do, and everyone else seems to at this point. I just don't want to put up with the even year joke that's going to happen if he pulls it out.
Oh yeah.
So
his game is tailor made for Augusta. That's for sure. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It's annoying, but
yeah. So did you so you saw the emoji thing that he came out with this week?
Yeah.
It's just like the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's like the only people who have emojis that I know of are Kim Kardashian, Amber Rose, and Bubba Watson.
And Twitter egg journalists.
Oh, do they really?
I feel like a lot of Pittsburgh journalists have it.
Do they?
They have those animated. I feel like a couple Pirates writers do. I don't know. Maybe I seek out those guys.
I don't know who is in the market for Bubba Watson emoji.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know.
I don't know who would be dying for a Bubba Watson emoji package.
Like Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose, those are super popular people in the social media world, and I guess I can see people getting those. But who's like, oh, I got to get these Bubba Watson emojis to send to my friends who are going to think they're hilarious.
See, that's the flip side, where I think really casual sports fans that rarely follow golf, they're like, oh, Bubba, yeah, he swings the pink clubs and he wins the Masters. Like, oh, I kind of like him. He cries. But the real serious fan that would actually use emojis because they're big enough golf fans know who Bubba Watson is, and he's an asshole.
That's a good point. I might be too far on the inside of following golf, because Bubba Watson has all of the characteristics of a guy that someone just sort of skimming over the top would like. His name's Bubba. He's from the South. He drives around in hovercraft.
He had that effect early on, and then it came out that it was kind of just a show, or it was just, I don't know.
Well, like you're right. The more camera time you got, the more we got to see who the actual person is.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this guy's an asshole, and people hate playing with him.
Yeah, his caddy probably hates him more than anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And
he just complains about everything, doesn't he? Doesn't he complain about pace of play and shit like that? I feel like he did that last year a few times.
Anything that throws him off his routines and off his groove, he'll just lose it.
Yeah, there was an anthill at one tournament, and his ball was like next to it, and he ripped into the tour official like, "What is the rule on the anthill?" It's like, we don't have a rule for that, Bubba. Just like shut the fuck up and play. But man, yeah, he did. He had that effect where at first you love him, and then you get to know him, and you see him. Mics around the course are kind of what did Bubba in, because you can hear him ripping into his caddy. You can hear him like under his breath about gallery members moving in the distance. That's the type of shit that fucked Bubba up, which I'm happy because I really don't like it.
It's like he's taking on the Shooter McGavin role, where he's in front of the cameras. You're all my friends, and then afterwards he's like, oh. Well,
but he doesn't own it is the problem.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because he tries to act like the good guy and like everyone loves him.
It's a two-faced thing.
Like villains don't come out with emojis. That's like a rule.
Can you imagine Tiger in his prime coming out with emojis?
I would buy the shit out of Tiger.
I would have, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a Tiger thing to do.
It's the same thing with Ian Poulter with Bubba Watson. If you're going to be the villain, just own it.
He's just surly.
People will at least respect it. I would respect Bubba if he just came out and was like, I fucking hate everybody. I hate you, this person that's interviewing me, and you can all go to hell. That would be better, but he tries to play both sides, and that just doesn't fly.
Him in the par 3 tournament today when who was it hit the hole-in-one? Well, everyone hit a hole-in-one.
Yeah, who didn't?
It was Webb Simpson.
Webb Simpson, that's right. His reaction was just so.
There was a picture on Twitter, and everyone else is like jumping up, like
what a cornball,
and he just has his like arms crossed, like pouty face.
He can't get out of his own way with this shit.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Paulina?
Sure did.
Oh, I saw her. I think you tweeted the picture.
Yeah. Paulina wearing a choker at Augusta is like the hottest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. She couldn't have looked better.
God bless.
What else? Yeah, what else with the Masters?
Who are some under the radar guys that you think might be a good fit for this course, or who might emerge this week?
Guys like Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah, he's been in the running a bunch. He lost a playoff a couple years. He was the one who lost to Bubba when he hit the ball out of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he have like an eagle from like
double eagle on number 2?
Yeah, and it was like an insane shot from like 240 yards away or something like that, right?
Yeah, the albatross happens maybe 5 times a year on tour. So.
Oh yeah, almost never. Heinrich Stenson, I like.
He never wins. Like, he hasn't even won an event since 2013. It's wild. He almost won the FedEx Cup without winning an event. It makes no sense.
Oh, here's a guy, Patrick Reed. There's a guy I wouldn't mind seeing win. He's kind of an asshole, but
he owns the asshole. That's the best part. The belt buckle is the perfect example.
That belt buckle was unbelievable. I couldn't believe when I saw that.
I mean, either. I thought it was fake. That literally looks like something some Twitter account would make.
Yeah.
Some like worldwide wob shit or something.
He would. That too. If I'm not pulling, I'm not really pulling for. Well, I'm pulling for Rory, but if I'm pulling for somebody else, it might be Patrick Reed, just to see the shitstorm that he will, like, interviews and him on a media tour. All that would be pure gold from him.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Some guys under the radar that I think could fit in. It's Justin Thomas's first tournament. I think his game plays well for Augusta. I'm hearing there's supposed to be a lot of wind, supposed to be a big factor. I've heard Sergio is a guy who plays well in the wind. I've also heard, it might be kind of cliche, but some of the South African guys tend to play well because they hit lower shots.
Schwartzel.
So Schwartzel, he's won there, obviously. I had one, Grace. Yeah, he had the U.S. Open very well could have been his. He just pushed that ball on 16 at Chambers.
Yep.
So he's quietly top 15 in the world rankings. So
yeah. I would like to see Justin Thomas win anything, so people will stop talking about Spieth.
That's true.
His friend, it's Jordan Spieth's buddy. I feel bad for him.
I do feel bad for him.
Just living in the shadow of your buddy.
Yeah, and he had that match play that everyone was waiting for, and then he was eliminated, and Spieth had already clinched.
It didn't matter.
The time they had it didn't even matter, and Spieth whooped his ass anyway.
That's just got to be the worst possible relationship you can have with a friend.
Yeah, that's rough.
Who else? Like you said, with the wind, we have those top 6 that I had. But if the wind and it's rainy and shit like that, that can make the leaderboard look completely different. Like when Zach Johnson won his in 2007, it was windy and rainy, and the average score was like 76. And Zach Johnson, who I love, he's from where I'm from.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a good. He hits those wedges really well. So, I just think with Augusta's greens that's a huge asset, and obviously he won in 07. So.
All you got to do is he laid up on every par 5 and he still won. The weather was so bad.
The last name that I have is Snedeker. He seems to play well in the tough conditions. He won. Wasn't the week before Pebble Beach? It was San Diego event. Was it Farmers Insurance maybe? He won that when like the trees were falling on the course and everything. And yeah, he got in before the weather got really bad, but he played well there. And I think that he's a good ball striker and putts as well as anyone on tour. So I guess that would be maybe my dark horse. So moving on for some more Masters kind of stuff. Like what are your favorite like traditions, or what would give you the feels here for Augusta?
Well, Jim Nantz all the time. He's gonna say hello, friends, and that's gonna make me melt.
That's when you know you've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And one of my favorite parts that comes at the end is when they go into Butler Cabin with Billy Payne and Jim Nantz, and it's really super, super awkward.
Yeah.
They're like giving an interview. Billy Payne is staring. Jim Nantz like can't turn it off. The pageantry and the wax poetic and this is so beautiful. He can't turn that off. So, and it works fine on a broadcast. But when you're talking to someone, it really weirds them out. It's really my favorite part.
I feel like he's just on such a high like this week too, like coming off the NCAA tournament and like the call he had, and he's like just like boom right into the Masters now. Like I feel like he's just like coked out, just practice easy, on the plane, whispering hello, friends.
He lives the best life. He lives the best life for these couple of weeks every single year. He's Final Four, then jet sets right down to Augusta. I'm sure it's exhausting, but it's got to be awesome.
Oh, totally worth it.
He's got that burnt toast picture in his pocket.
That's what everyone's talking about this week. I've only kept up with it for a little bit. Like, I don't get the tie thing. Like, what exactly was the whole tie thing?
I've been trying to figure that out too. Do you know more about this?
I don't think I do. So I guess he gave.
I think it's that outrageous that it's just hard to grasp.
So I guess he gave a basketball player from, I'm guessing, Villanova, his tie after the game, and he made like a big deal, like, this is my tie, you can have this, and it seemed like a made-up tradition. And then I guess people started asking about it, and he said he's given away hundreds of ties over the years.
Okay,
I don't know.
Now, that makes sense because I did see a picture today with Banks, you may know this. What's the little guy, Siva from Louisville?
Peyton Siva.
Yeah.
God,
There was a picture of him. There was a picture of him with a tie, like on the Final Four, like on the championship or on the floor. And I was like, I guess that's Jim Nantz's tie too. And then I thought I read somewhere that he gave someone like a signed sleeve of balls, and the guy was like, "Oh, thanks for this," and he like went into how it's so like, it's an honor and stuff like that, like that Jim Nantz was giving him the signed sleeve of balls.
So I guess Nantz has just been handing out ties for like 20 years and never told anybody. And then when he got caught on social media, people wanted to know, and he just gives away his ties. I don't know what's weirder.
How did that get hidden for that long, though? I feel like someone would have come out.
I have Jim Nantz's tie from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think the burnt toast thing is still weirder.
I kind of get it though. Like if you're just really picky about something, like, and if you continue to get it wrong when you ask it a certain way, like I get that it's totally an asshole thing or it's weird, but if you always go to breakfast at the same time every morning and it's consistently enough where it's like a part of your day every single day, Like his
Yeah.
explanation made some sense.
Well, yeah, but like, does he go out to breakfast every day, or is it just like once a week where he's like,
I
oh,
think that was part of the
Okay.
story. Well, you're on the road a lot too. You're gonna get
Yeah,
breakfast a lot.
I think he said he's on the road like 250 days a year.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
I mean, the story made sense. I didn't think it was an asshole thing. It's just a weird thing. But
True. Well, if you were a waiter or waitress and you're like, oh my God, it's Jim Nance, like, and you wait for his order and this guy has a goddamn picture of toast in his wallet.
yeah,
Like, flips out his wallet.
Like, all right, I got your order. I'm gonna go put that in. And Nance is like, hold on 1 second.
Wait a
Let me
minute,
get
friend.
let me get this picture of burnt toast out of my wallet.
It was like that guy, the insurance salesman on The Office is like, yeah, if it come back burnt, I will send it back.
Yeah. It's like, I want the side salad first. If it doesn't come out first, I'll send it back.
More stuff about the Masters that I like. The music,
Music's the best part.
Yeah, the landscape shots I can't get enough of those.
Thank God for high definition television.
Woo! Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes it that much better. And I wish you could do like drinking games for the Masters for stuff Jim Nance says. It's shit like that. I don't know.
It's just, and it's also like the whole sports world is just zoned in on it. It comes at the perfect time of year, really. Like you get the opening day a little bit out of the way. Basketball's over. You've got like that 2-week window before NBA and NHL playoffs start.
Yep.
The whole world just kind of zones in on golf, and it's great in my opinion. So,
I agree.
What do you think Nance's call will be if Rory wins?
Oh God, that's a great question.
You can take your time, maybe come back to this one.
This is like a Ravel question.
It'll just be like, he's done it. He's done it. It'll be something like that. Who knows?
It's something real basic that like he thinks is clever, but it's really just
it's got to connect in with. Oh, it'll be like, or he'll be like, Irish eyes are smiling on the Grand Slam. He loves that. Or if there's family members in the audience, he'll pick them out and be like, Dad's been waiting for this since he had, gave birth to Rory or some shit like that. I did a preview blog, and in it I looked at prop bets because I wanted to do one. I'm not a gambler. I suck at it. Odds and shit like that confuse me. But prop bets, the one prop bet that I chose was who does the winner hug after he makes the winning putt, excluding the caddy.
Excluding the caddy.
It's parent, it's fiance, or it's parent, significant other, or it was like
the pair, the other guy in the pairing, maybe.
No, and like wife holding a baby. That was the other one.
Like it has to be the parent. Baby has to be involved. Like.
Yeah. So like there's wife, parent, and then there's wife with baby in arms. So that would be like, I guess they're probably looking at like Ellie Day holding her newborn,
right?
Jason.
Can she walk after LeBron like steamrolled her? Is she okay now?
She's fine. Yep.
Okay. All right. Good. Because who else? What's his name? Dustin Johnson and Paulina. They have their baby now.
Oh, that's true.
And then
I feel like Bubba's popping out babies left and right.
The guy's name, Danny Willett, was the one whose wife.
He's also under the radar. He's both in the world, and nobody really talks about him.
Well, they were saying they had their baby last week, so they didn't know. He said, all along, if the baby comes this week, I'm not playing. But it came last week, so I'm hoping that he's going to play.
You're like your wife had a baby. I think I would still play.
Last week?
I would play if my wife was in labor at Augusta.
Right. I feel the same way. I would.
You don't know when you're getting back there.
That's exactly right. I would never ever skip around of Augusta. Yeah, even if she went into labor Thursday morning, like as I'm about to tee off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I win this thing.
Yeah. Text me. Let me know how it goes.
I do. Did you guys see any of the pairings? The Ian Poulter, Bubba Watson, Brandon Grace pairing.
I saw that pairing. God, I saw you blogged it too. Actually, the Brandon Grace, like poor guy.
I just said I would never skip the Masters, but I might honestly withdraw if I had that pairing.
I don't think you should skip.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, there's no fucking way. But
they're fucking assholes.
Maybe that's a good thing though for him. He can just kind of tune them out and kind of focus on playing golf.
That's true. If Brandon Grace ends up winning the Masters, that'll be one of the greatest athletic feats of all time.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing the first 2 rounds with those guys.
About the Thursday and Friday pairings, there's not one group that really stands out that is like, man, I got to catch that group.
Yeah, I just skimmed over him. I think
I was so underwhelmed in general.
I was too. I think Spieth is playing with that DeChambeau kid. So
Yeah.
that'll be something. And then there's who's in Kutsher's group? That was the one.
Chris Davis just 1 yard.
Did he really?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. This is a Baltimore podcast.
Very true.
Very much so.
Somebody that Kutsher's because they gotta have featured groups for people working. They'll be streaming it, and it'll be.
Yeah. I was kind of confused as to which ones, because I feel like the page said there are 2 featured groups, but there's 5 of them listed. So I don't know if that means 2 at any given time, and then they like kick it back when the next one tees off, or I don't know. But none of them really stood out. I think there was.
Was it Phil was in a decent one, wasn't he? It was. Hold on, I'm looking right now. There's Louis, Jason Duffner, Patrick Reed, Spieth, Paul Casey, and then that guy DeChambeau. Let me see. It was Mickelson, Leishman, and Henrik Stenson.
What's Matt Kutsher's group? Kutsher's.
Kutsher is. Let me see.
I thought he had a good one. Maybe not.
Kutsher. Oh, he's Jason Day, Kutsher, and Ernie Els.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean, Ernie Els is old and has the yips, but
he's pretty washed.
He's got a bad case of the yips. I feel bad for him. He misses like 2-footers.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that has those aches and pains.
Martin Keimer, Billy Haas, and Rory. That's not a bad one either.
There's usually like a standout threesome, and there just isn't one this year. There was one that I liked, the 2, and then there was just Zach Johnson, Ricky Fowler, and then an amateur from China, the Chinese amateur champion.
Shang Jin?
Yeah.
I think another sleeper for me is Hideki Matsuyama. I like his game.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet most of the year. He won that one event, but I mean he definitely he's been around for a bit, and he sticks around in that, and he's pretty high in the world rankings and all that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best time of year.
It really is. Like I think that's what Banks and I we were talking about that a few weeks ago. How, the tournament going right into opening day, and then this followed by NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and then just the rest of baseball.
What's it like?
What's that?
What's it like watching the Masters like streaming on your computer in the office? How does that go?
I can't say that I remember it all that well last year. I think that the groupings weren't that great to start off.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous, but it's just the way Augusta is. The coverage doesn't start till 3.
Yeah.
So
like even
you sitting at home have to deal with the streaming and all that.
It's the stupidest thing, maybe in like sports television, that Augusta still clutches on to their they think less is better because they think they make it premium when that is not the landscape of sports and on television at all.
You can't argue with where the tournament is in relation to the rest of the tournaments on tour. So
it drives me nuts, though.
It sure does. So I think I've got a tablet and I've got my phone and stealing the Wi-Fi from the office and trying to do my best there. But
see, now my boss is actually headed down. He's gone down with his dad the last few years to Augusta. They have passes, so they're heading down Friday morning, going to Saturday and Sunday.
That's
and
unbelievable.
I think tomorrow he's bringing in his laptop and we're hooking it up to the TV in our office. So he's also taking orders for polos, for like $90 each.
Oh yeah, I saw that Mo, former of Barstool Philly.
Yeah, I saw
he's down there. I thought about texting him, being like, "Buy me a fucking hat."
Yeah, that hat was money.
Probably $40.
I was gonna say, I was thinking, like $40-50 for a hat. You can't get Masters gear anywhere but Augusta, even online. I don't think.
Yeah, it's
They're so sneaky. I even have it's my only video game that I've bought in the past 3 years. Since I bought an Xbox One and I got the Rory PGA Tour. Yeah. And there's they started with 7 courses and they made it sound like they were going to try to negotiate and get Augusta into the game. No chance. No chance at all. And I think
they had it in there a few years ago.
Right, like they stopped doing annual editions of the game, and they just add courses every once in a while. So they've added Oakmont because that's where the U.S. Open is this year, and they've added some other courses, but no sign of Augusta. And the only way I think that they would allow it to be in a video game again is if it's in its own video game. Like,
I think they put Augusta in one, didn't they? Like a
they
Tiger
did for a couple of
Woods?
years,
Yeah.
and then they discontinued the Tiger franchise and didn't put it in the Rory one.
This
So-
might not be true, and I could be making it up, but I thought I heard that the reason that they put it in a Tiger game finally is because one of the guys who was against it died, and they were finally able to just like not count his vote anymore, so they were able to put Augusta in the game. That's what is going to have to happen.
That's the kind, you're gonna have to wait for everyone to die.
It's not going to be that long. These guys are. I feel like they're so old already. Once all these guys die off, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage, and everybody's going to be happy. I think.
I guess I hope so.
Yeah, I don't want to wish death on anyone, but
No, yeah, you do.
I would love to play.
Yeah, you do.
Would love
Yes,
to play in corner some more.
Those guys have lived plenty. Like they've lived a great life. They've had their time. It's they gotta go.
I don't know. Being one of those country club guys at Augusta doesn't seem like it's that there's that many perks to it.
Sounds like a sausage fest, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, very very true.
I bet it'd be awesome, just like a rich white guy playing on Augusta all the time. But once these guys go, once they pass on, it's going to be better for us.
I still don't think there's any chance any of us even get anywhere near a chance of playing it though.
No.
I'm sure they're
That'll
talking.
never happen.
I'm sure. Like last year, after Steph Curry won the title, he barely got a tee time.
That's true. You have to have like 3 types of cancer to get on Augusta. So,
It's ridiculous. But that's the flip side. That's what makes it great. Is it's so exclusive.
right.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
So CBS always has the storylines they love to push, and they love all the the usual shit. Are there any like low key storylines that you're tracking this week?
Low key storylines. Ooh, I will be interested to see how that Jim Herman guy does.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool story. He's like, I love watching the Masters.
Yeah.
I was planning on sitting on my couch. I couldn't wait, and now I'm playing.
That story might not fly under the radar because that got covered huge. But seeing how he does, and I'm sure he'll get interviews talking about, because that's as close as he'll get to like a normal guy playing in a Masters. He wasn't going to play like you said. He was going to watch it from this TV and wins the Shell Houston, and he's taking a trip. That'll be one thing that I'm following just to see how he does.
I just got a text from somebody saying, picture of a tweet. Jordan Spieth tells Golf Channel at dinner that he cracked his driver Wednesday at Augusta. Titleist brought in a replacement.
Yikes.
Oh, there's one of your storylines right there.
Yeah.
Tim Nance will talk about that forever. Cracked his driver, huh?
Yeah, how many times is that going to be mentioned now?
Oh, that's going to be so many times.
50,000.
Yeah, they're going to pound that into the ground.
Any little thing.
I wasn't sure, but he did an interview during the par 3 today, and it sounded like he was a tiny bit under the weather. I don't know if he was hungover from like Masters dinner or something, or.
I feel like he's just so run down now, isn't he? Because he's just doing every appearance.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of events.
I feel like he's been in like 3 different continents.
That's what I love about him, though. He's a go-getter. He just.
Yeah. Like you said, he's 22. He's soaking this all in, and he should.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, I say like, oh man, I would play every week. Like it's golf, it's fun, it's somewhat relaxing. You make shit tons of money, and you don't really get in danger of like getting your head knocked off or getting hit in the face with a fastball or anything.
Getting CTE in 20 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I would play every event I ever could, and that's from the outside looking in. And he seems to have taken that mentality and is running with it. And
It's got to wear on him, yeah.
it has to. And he admitted as such late last year.
But like when he played, I think he played Singapore, and his appearance fee that he got was more than the winner got of the tournament. So it's like, I'm not saying he's doing it for the money, but you got to strike while the iron's hot. Tiger did the same thing. Like if they want you to come play, like make that money now because you never know when it can go away. He's definitely a little burnt out. You can tell.
Sure.
Even at the Shell Houston, he was like freaking out. He was yelling. He was screaming. More than I'd ever seen him do that.
I was gonna say that's not like him. He normally holds his composure pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's what they were kind of discussing that on the radio this morning and how someone has to sit him down and say, hey, you're allowed to say no to things. I know you're young, and I know you want to make a lot of money and be in these commercials and play in Singapore and, Asia and wherever else, but, like, you're allowed to say no to things.
He said that too, not only being exhausted, but dealing with the fame of it all. Like, I know he feels obligations. After he won those majors last year, he still came and played the John Deere, which is kind of right by near me. He doesn't have to do that. I mean, it was nice that he did, but he does seem like he has trouble saying no and dealing with people asking him things and not being able to turn it down.
He needs to learn a lesson from Vinny Chase that, you don't have to say yes to everything. You don't need every endorsement.
I don't think it'd be a great idea for him to get involved with some of Vinny Chase's
but
porn stars and
tequila. Vinny Chase.
That's what makes Jordan Spieth company. Is that he's not Vinny Chase.
Very true.
I do like that he's a gamer though. He'll play wherever.
Sure. I think that we covered the Masters pretty good there. So I guess I'll let you talk about what you want to talk about.
Well, here, all right. So when we tweeted out our Trent's coming on yesterday, we got Clem sent us a question, but this guy at Eric_Speegs said, would you rather have Rory's swing in your body or Rory's body in your swing?
I would rather have Rory's body in my swing. I'm at peace with my swing. Like, it's a piece of shit, and I'm not. As much as I talk about golf and tweet about golf and blog about golf, I'm not a great golfer. But if I could look like Rory, a lot of troubles would go away. My swing is my swing. I slice everything. Nothing goes that far. But Rory's jacked, dude. When he played the Saturday morning round of the Dell Match Play, it looked like he painted on that Nike shirt that he was wearing. He looks like a bodybuilder. So I would take Rory's body.
I think that Nike made some of the clothes that he wears to fit his body specifically, like those zip up things that he wears.
Yeah,
they just look like they wouldn't fit anyone but him.
I believe it, man. I really do. Because those shirts, they look like they're just painted on his body.
You think it's like when you see like the equipment guys in the locker room help the linemen put their jerseys on over their pads? You think that's what they have to do in the locker rooms before?
Yeah, his caddy's helping him bring it down over his shoulders.
He just has his arms up and they're yanking it down. Yeah, probably.
Maybe if you go back and look at pictures of Rory, he used to be like chubby, weird-looking, long-hair guy from Northern Ireland, and he didn't even need to be jacked. I honestly think he's jacked because he likes looking jacked. He doesn't have to be that way. He just likes it.
Acts like that too.
Yeah, I'm sure that when he came over here, he probably got a personal chef and all that, and I mean, he has access to probably any gym he wants now. So I'd get jacked too if I could eat professionally cooked meals and shit like that. And probably when he was with Caroline, she was probably keeping him in shape too.
And when you think about it, it's these guys' jobs to like be healthy. That's all they have to do every day, and that makes it sound easy. But he wakes up, he eats healthy, he works out a bunch, and like athletes that are fat, it's kind of weird. Like that's a choice that they make. They could easily be skinnier if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially golfers.
Yeah. Like I remember we had a baseball player who was like from our hometown, and we like saw him at the gym one day, and he's like our age, and we were like, oh shit, like we're here working out because we want to, and like he's here working out because he has to. Like if he doesn't, he'll get fired if he gets out of shape. So
exactly.
Yeah. Oh no, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, and Rory has a fiance now, so he doesn't have to be looking out for the ladies, but I'm sure he still likes the attention.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he sees them staring, the cart girls when he's walking by.
All right, now I remember after Spieth won the Masters last year. I mean, you were pumping his tires as he deserved to, but I came to you and I said, okay, you're a Rory guy, but one of these days I think you're gonna have to choose between the two. And then I came and revisited it after the U.S. Open too, and I think you kind of dodged the question. Maybe I don't remember what you said, but the Olympics are coming, and I think it's a matter of time before we get a Sunday Spieth McIlroy showdown. So I guess here's the question again.
I remember the first time you asked me, and I remember dodging it the second time. Oh, this is hard. This is what I'm working with here.
You've been helped by Day being a third man in and just kind of distracting the attention from it being a two guy thing. But
this is what it comes down to, because I like both of the guys. Rory is a guy, not that this would ever happen, that I would hang out with. I know he seems like a chill dude. His candid interviews, you really get a look into him. He's just kind of, oh, I'm laid back, I'm Rory, I'm awesome. Spieth isn't that way, and that's not a knock on him. I just, looking at it purely from a friends, if I'm going to be friends with these guys.
But Spieth, you would have date your daughter.
Oh, yeah, yes, yeah.
So I guess there's value to that. I don't know.
This is me I just dodged the question again. I think I'm going to pick Rory, and I'm not. That makes me feel bad because it's like a country.
You should feel bad. You should feel bad.
One of the big things working for Spieth is he's from America. That's why I don't hate. Well, Bubba and Poulter. At least Bubba's American.
For me, it's not even that he's from America. It's that he exudes America. He's a Texas boy. He he plays golf with George W. Bush and does all that stuff. So I just appreciate his down to earth attitude and all that.
Yeah, like his dinner last night, or the last night with the barbecue and all that.
And I was smitten with Caroline Wozniacki before she became a thing with Rory. So I don't know. Maybe I feel like I have some allegiance to her.
Is that true?
I knew she was. I recognized her as that she's a really good looking tennis player, and that was the thing.
I'm not sure she's that good looking.
You can agree to disagree on that.
I've seen pictures and I'm like, oh yeah, she's smoking, and then I'll see other pictures and it's like,
Yeah, she got big forehead. I get that.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
This is the Hillary Swank episode from The Office, Banks too.
I don't think that's a little.
I
wouldn't put her in the same ballpark as Hillary Swank.
She's above Hillary Swank, but
she's tall. I love tall women. That's a thing.
Okay, how tall are you?
6'2".
Damn.
Damn.
I wish
that's right. Hey, I'm down here. I'm short too, Trent. So
how tall are you?
There.
I don't know. 5'9", 5'8", maybe.
All right, I'm 5'11". I feel better.
God damn. I think I guess I will. I think I'm still the shortest guy at Barstool. I don't know how tall Charlie is.
I don't think he's too short.
White Sox Dave's pretty short.
He is pretty short.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also not as fat as people think either.
No, he's not at all.
He's pretty in shape. He just has kind of a fat face. He looks like a catcher. Which is what he was.
He's a catcher body. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's short. He's definitely not fat.
No. So I guess we have our answer there is Rory.
Rory's the answer. I feel bad about it, and it's just the way it is.
And you would put Day third behind those two.
Yeah.
I really like his attitude too. He's really laid back, and yeah, I like the whole Aussie thing. He's pretty self-aware. He likes to say things that are cocky, but they don't come across as cocky. There's a quote that's always in that PGA commercial where he's like, it's like Roy and Spieth had a baby and it was me.
Yeah, that was a good one. He always says cheers after interviews. I like that.
Yeah.
I was worried about him. I was worried about him having a second kid coming off that run he had. I was afraid that he was going to be worn out because these other guys don't have kids. Spieth doesn't have kids. Rory doesn't have kids. Now Day's got 2. But now, Day has won a couple tournaments already. So.
Well, I guess Dash was born a while ago, and then he he didn't go into a funk, but I don't know. And then he really realized the potential once Dash was kind of older, I guess, not a baby anymore. But I don't know. We're probably overanalyzing birthing of all that shit. People love to say, oh, DJ and Paulina had kids, and it's really straightened out DJ and all that shit. Whatever, man. People love to play the family and the golf thing.
Totally.
I'm not necessarily sure that there's a correlation there.
Yeah, Paulina has Snapchat now. I'm just waiting for her to accidentally snap out a picture of her and DJ partying hardcore while the baby is getting watched by a nanny or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that Snapchat name.
I'll send it to you.
That's yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a good account. She's I know we talked about her earlier, but she's a personal favorite. I miss Amanda Duffner.
Oh,
Wasn't she with some athlete or something? Or somebody famous?
I just remember there were the rumors about her and Tiger.
Oh yeah,
But I feel like there's rumors about Tiger and everyone.
that's got to be true.
I haven't. No.
You think it is?
Get out of here. No fucking way.
All right,
That would be crazy.
It would be crazy, but so was the whole idea of this picture perfect athlete, with who married a nanny and has a family, ends up like driving into a fire hydrant on Thanksgiving and not winning another major for at least 8+ years.
I love that. So I just Googled Amanda Duffner, and the first thing that comes up, who is Amanda Duffner? 5 facts about Tiger Woods' alleged new girl. Second article is Tiger Woods' rumored girlfriend Amanda Duffner planning to marry golfer.
He was, that when the divorce happened between Amanda and Jason, the rumor was floated that Tiger was the reason they split up.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. I guess that's not true. I did a 180 there. Whatever.
Speaking of ex-wife, Elin Nordegren, she's dating some billionaire coal guy.
Yeah, what a scoop. She's like.
You know what? Elin Nordegren, can we just talk about her for a second?
Sure.
She's the whole reason this thing is completely off the rails. Why Tiger isn't good anymore. So she finds out that he is pissing on porn stars while he's on the road. Cool.
You don't think it has anything to do with Tiger swinging from the heels for 2 decades?
No, I think it has part to do with that. But I think.
But he could have been fucking a lot on the side. And that didn't help the back either.
I think Elin Nordegren is the Yoko Ono of sports. She just ruined the worst possible thing going. It's like, so she finds out that he's cheating on her and acts like she doesn't know that he's been cheating on her. That's just like what athletes do. That's the cruel truth that I think most people accept. So she freaks out, hits him in the face with a golf club. He runs into a fire hydrant. And then once she gets a divorce, she hops on the next billionaire dick. It's like she was the nanny before she met Tiger, and now she won't even talk to a guy if he's not worth $1 billion. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, she hit the lottery. Like if Tiger didn't, because who's the golfer that set her up with Tiger?
Parnavik. Jesper Parnavik.
Yeah. If he doesn't say like, hey, you should hang out with my friend, Eldrick, and then she's still a nanny at that guy's house.
Yeah.
Now she is.
I think he came out and said in hindsight that he regretted setting them up.
Yeah, because he was really pissed when it all came out. He was furious.
People pretended like Tiger wasn't sleeping around during that time, and I didn't think so either, or not. I didn't know, but I mean, you look back, that dude was like a god.
Well, you like to think that all these athletes are fucking around, but I think people thought golf was somehow different, and it's just not.
True.
It's a gentleman's game, he wouldn't do that. No way.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like hanging in back rooms with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's banging like waitresses at Roscoe's and shit like that.
Porn stars, Denny's waitresses, probably just about anybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I don't know. That 30 for 30 is going to be. They're going to have to make that. That's going to have to be like a 5-hour 30 for 30.
Somebody needs to drug Tiger, or Elin, but that sounds bad. And like, and just those like truth serums.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mystery in like the history of sports is what happened at Thanksgiving night because we still don't know. He never know. I think they signed like a confidentiality agreement that nobody would talk.
Who knows, man?
That somehow that has to leak out, and that's going to sell 1 billion copies of a book that no one even reads.
I still think Tiger and Elin are going to get back together at some point.
That's crazy. She's got the billionaire dick.
That's true. She's got the billionaire dick. But I know Tiger still wants to get back with Elin for sure.
Probably.
He's single.
Yeah, he seemed to pick up like a lesser version with Vaughn.
Yeah, she's like a JV version almost.
Yeah.
I agree.
Didn't she like get in a pretty terrible wreck recently, Vaughn?
Yeah, I feel like those skiers do that like every year. I feel like it's like every other year she tears her ACL and screws up her knee.
That's what I thought. I thought she tore her ACL pretty recently.
But I mean, I feel like those crashes always look bad because they hit and they just tumble through the air.
Yeah, I'm off of my Olympic sport grind right now. I gotta get back on that.
Yeah, you got to get on that soon.
Yeah. So, what else you got, Eric?
I think the only thing left is we can do some wire talk real quick. I was trying. Clem wanted us to name, every character. He wanted us to go down a list and put them in order. I don't think we have that much time.
We do not.
All right, so I was thinking, say you come to Baltimore for one day and we do this wire tour. What is the one place in Baltimore that you want to see? Like the one, we only have time to go to one place and we can go.
Oh man.
I know it's a lot of pressure.
I know the first thing that popped in my head was I want to go see the Orange Couch.
Oh, in the
But can we even go there? Can we even go there?
Can we go there? Like people like us? Probably not. We can find some people who can maybe escort us there.
I have to assume I know what you're talking about, and it's kind of funny to just kind of pretty much know what you're talking about.
It's like a pit in the middle of these high rises, and they sit. There's this orange couch where they play chess, and they holler at girls and sling some drugs, maybe.
Like my Midwest face can't just roll up in there like, hey.
Hello, D'Angelo. You could try it, maybe. I don't know. That's a good one.
If not that, because we might die, it would be, oh man, like any of the bars that McNulty and Bunk would go to, or go to the tracks where they drink.
Every time I drive by like a bar, like a corner bar in Baltimore, I'm like, I think that's it. I think that's the one where he's throwing up outside of. And then I look it up and I'm like, oh, I was like 5 miles away from that. There's no way. They all look the same. All these corner bars.
Where the bar where they sing "Body of an American," where they do the wakes. That's probably my number one.
The Irish wake, that would be awesome. I feel like I would just walk in there and lay on a pool table, regardless of if people were playing or what time of the day it was.
That's one of those. If we can't go to the Orange Couch because we'll get killed, which makes sense. I feel like a lot of the places in that show we would not do well at.
I want to say the high rises actually aren't even there anymore. I think they tore those down.
I know. We recently saw, maybe 2 months ago or something, they tore down Bodie's Corner.
Yeah, the Bodie's Corner. That would have been a cool place. I think the only places I've seen in real life are the Little Johnny's, the Greek place.
Oh.
Which we drove by there. It's all chained up and locked up now. The girlfriend would not let me stop the car and get out and take a picture in front of it. So I had to do a fast drive-by.
There's not many places you want to get out of the car in Baltimore, though.
Well, it was only 11:30 on a Friday night, and I had a lot to drink, and she was driving. So it sounded like a great idea. She didn't think so. And then I saw the it's like the little it's not a lighthouse, but it's in the middle of Baltimore, where they do the fake call and they arrest a bunch of people when they're tracking the cell phones. If I sent you a picture, you would know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I forget what that is, but yeah, that's right in the Inner Harbor. And then I live 5 miles from Jessup too, so we used to pass that jail where.
Oh really?
Yep.
That's where Avon's at.
Avon, yep. So.
I called him Akon.
Akon, yeah, that's all right.
Sugar Bell's apartment, I would go to that.
That would be cool. Orlando's, be a nice place to get a drink.
Now we're Orlando's. That might be my number one. I just want to go to Orlando's strip club.
Yeah, that would be money. I know a bunch of my friends used to joke around and be like, "Yo, we should drive into Baltimore and get some lake trout." I was like, don't. I think I'm gonna stay away from that. I don't know how good that would be, or again how safe that would be. So.
Is Baltimore super dangerous? I am so Midwest that I don't know shit about Baltimore.
I don't know, Banks. Is Baltimore super dangerous?
It's very much one of those places where there are areas where you know where you are, and it's you're totally fine, and you're kind of in the bougie white people neighborhood, and then you go across the street, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. See, now I have the story. This is for another day, or I can go into this later on.
You can go for it, man.
We I took my brother to an Orioles game. I don't know, 2008 maybe, and we parked in probably not the best part of town, but it was cheaper. So we parked there. We're walking back from the game, and we got held up at gunpoint and pistol whipped by 4 blood gang members. So that was a fun time.
What?
Like, yeah, I didn't say you don't know, you didn't know that.
I was half listening, and then like I tuned in towards the end where the pistol whipping started.
Yeah, yeah, we got pistol whipped.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and the Orioles beat the Astros that night. So
Awesome.
overall, my night wasn't that. I also escaped with my car, not my wallet or my phone or anything else. But yeah, it was a good night. So, like I said,
and your life, you got your life. So
oh yeah, that too. I didn't even think about that. But like I said, there are some nice parts. Luckily, I think that parking lot is now where the horseshoe is, Banks.
So yeah, sometimes when I blogged early on, I would kind of try to fight that whole notion of like the perception that people have, and I was just like, that's actually not worth it. I know what this is, and then I figure this podcast is going to get probably a lot of listeners that are outside the Baltimore area, and this is going to be one of the only stories that they hear about Baltimore.
Yep,
it's just not going to help at all.
No, not at all.
As an outsider, the things that I know about Baltimore are The Wire and then those riots that happened like however many months ago. That's all I know about Baltimore.
And welcome to the comment section in any blog that Banks and I right.
Oh, really? Is that what they like rag on you guys about Baltimore?
It's either testers are out or
Ray Lewis has a statue.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So
Ray Lewis. Testers are out. Fucking A.
Which, hey, I mean, I'm all for testers, you know me, but yeah, no, I mean, Baltimore overall, like you were saying, if you stay in the right part of town, I think you'll be all right, and if not, then
the nice areas are great. I mean, obviously, Camden Yards is my favorite place on the planet, and then
is that in Baltimore?
Oh, it's right in the middle. Yeah, it's right in the middle of downtown. It's right by the Inner Harbor, which is obviously it's a harbor, so it's probably 1,000 feet from it.
Yeah.
Really nice in that area. So
yeah,
I would recommend that area.
The main downtown part is fine. If you want to go to like a Sunday Orioles game, you should be all right to walk around. But once it starts getting a little dark out, you may want to head back to the car, or, your apartment or something.
If I don't want to get pistol whipped.
Exactly. You know what? It really wasn't that bad. Because now we have a story for our podcast.
I have no idea when I'll ever be in Baltimore, but I'll remember that so I don't get killed.
When you do, you let me know. And I said we can do this. There's a wire tour where you can you can print out directions and it tells you where to go, and it's literally written on there. You may want to go like during the morning from like 10 a.m. to like 2, and it's also like please do not interact with anyone you see because we filmed in real drug trafficking areas and things like that.
Here's the thing.
There will be people who will walk up and say, "Hey, honey, take my picture next to this extra."
See, that's the thing. Like when I hear about wire tours, I almost like feel bad. Like I'm just like this white guy taking a tour around horrifically drug-riddled poverty areas. Like I almost feel bad.
Did you say like take a picture with this extra that's like a random person?
Yeah.
Here's a probably in the wire. I'm not sure if I've shared on a blog or anywhere. In addition to not having seen The Wire, my grandfather was on The Wire.
Oh, well, yeah. See, so you have to see it then.
Yeah.
Who is your grandfather on The Wire?
He's an extra, but he was a dock worker in like season 3 or something like that.
2.
Season 2? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Throw your 2s up.
Really? I've tried to watch the show. I fell asleep during the first episode. I didn't give it an honest try. I'll admit it. It's just not my kind of show. I'm into the comedies. I don't like to get sucked into the dramas.
You would like McNulty.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get KFC to finish it. He started it and like got into season 2 and then quit, and he won't pick it back up.
I feel like even if he does finish it, he won't say it just so he can keep up the like I'm not watching it because season 2 sucked.
Totally.
You know, he wouldn't admit it.
Absolutely. That's exactly what he would do. Great show. Rank your seasons, and then we'll go too long. And you can.
We'll go 1, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
Okay, mine are 4, 1, 3, 2, 5.
Okay.
I like season 2 a lot, but there's other seasons are too good. I'd like to put in front of it.
Yeah, I like the teaching one. I mean, my girlfriend's a teacher, so I made her watch that. And she doesn't teach in Baltimore City, but she was like, "Oh, that's pretty standard for what I hear goes on."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, season 4 is my favorite. That scared the shit out of me.
Yes, season 4 was good. Shit. Yeah. Like I
You
said,
can't go wrong. Season 5 is the only one where it's kind of like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's still better than most shows, but it's not as good as the other one.
I still love it because I remember seeing tweets about how people said The Walking Dead was better than The Wire and Breaking Bad, and now I can just shove it in these people's faces that show sucks. So.
Yeah, I hear The Walking Dead sucks.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of that. Thanks. Are you?
No, I never watched The Walking Dead. That's even further out of my realm than.
Yeah, zombies don't do it for me. I don't know about you, Trent, but we don't have to worry about zombies over here.
I like zombies. I watched the first 2 seasons, I think, of The Walking Dead, and like the second season, they're on a farm the whole time and nothing happens. It's still a show that I oddly keep up with. Like I still go on and read like the spoiler articles because I just want to know what's happening. But I have no intention of picking it up again. No.
Solid. I think that's a good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. Thanks. Got anything?
No, I'm just excited for the Masters. I can't wait.
Starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow early.
Tomorrow. Go read Trent's preview.
We won't be able to watch it for 7 hours after it starts, I think. Unbelievable.
I remember last year Spieth was having the round of his life, and as they came to live coverage, he was walking off the 18th green. And it's like, you guys fucked this whole thing up. Worst.
So we'll deal with that, and hopefully I think Jason Day's the pick, but we'll see if Spieth can pull out a second in a row, and we'll see if Rory can finally finish a Grand Slam. So
I think he's gonna. Thanks for having me on. We've been Twitter friends for however long. We interact that way, and now we've been able to talk in real life.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
We
we appreciate you coming on. We get like dozens of views every week, so maybe we'll get a couple hundred this time.
Yeah,
I don't know. We appreciate you coming on and helping us kind of spread, reach out some more, and I think this was good.
It was
fantastic.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Later.